My colleagues are all set so we can delve into our discussion zone for today. Now, we'll start with International Day, World Telecommunication and Information Society Day. Now, this is actually to help raise awareness of the possibilities that the use of the internet and other information and communication technologies, as ICT, can bring to societies and economies, as well as ways to bridge the digital divide. Yes, that's very, very important. I don't think we can ever live without, communicating with one another, not just by word of mouth, but by the use of technology, which is like the ish of this era. Yes? Let me start with Hafiz. Hafiz Guru.
Barry,
Kaula.
Alafi.
Abiene.
Nkobjani.
Okay, I know that's like an insult. A subtle one, right?
Oh, it's not an insult.
You really?
He asks, am I
Nkobjani.
around? And I'm like, yeah, I'm
Oh,
around.
really? Nkobiene sounds like I'm not around.
I'm around.
Oh, really?
You're asking Abjani.
Ah, right. Okay, then it's me. I didn't get it right. Okay, I was actually going somewhere. But yeah, good to have you.
Yeah.
Today, we have two issues, but we're looking at real quick the Communication and Information Society Day, which is today.
Yeah. World Telecommunication and Information Society Day.
Absolutely.
Yes, and rightly you said, it's a day set aside to raise awareness of the use of the internet and
Right.
the other possibilities of what information and communication technologies bring to societies.
Right.
Now, I think we need to understand that. These days, internet access forms a fundamental part of what a modern society is.
Okay.
Yes, I think for any modern society to properly function, there has to be some sort of internet access.
Absolutely.
It's the reason we've seen advanced societies spend so much money on financing projects that on nationwide broadband projects, basically, where they allow their citizens to have internet access.
Yes.
Yes, some have even gone as far as legislate, put out certain laws. In certain countries, internet access is actually a right.
Yeah.
Yes, and so they have actually seen
The importance,
the
yeah.
importance of it, and rightly so. The possibilities are endless. You are talking about social media that has changed the face of news and reporting and everything.
Absolutely.
How much we get news and at what time. And,
The pace, yes.
Exactly. The sort of amount of content we consume daily.
Right.
You're talking about e-commerce, buying and selling and everything. You're talking about health,
Yeah.
education. In a time of COVID,
Name
where
it. Everything, right?
everything. So internet access has practically eaten deep into everything that we do
Right.
around the world. But if you talk about this same access to internet, especially bringing it to, I don't want to say third world, but that's what it is. And this part of
Developing countries.
developing-
For better lack of words.
Okay, so, when you bring the issue of internet access to these parts,
Right.
it's not something that is easily talked about, and because of the fact that usually, there are other pressing issues like conversations surrounding food,
Okay.
conversations
Health.
surrounding shelter, and everything. Why would you be increasing internet access when people still don't even have a place to lay their heads and
Right.
everything? So you will have all kinds of questions, come up to try to question the priorities of,
Yeah.
trying to, broaden or widen internet access. So
Right.
you have all these conversations. But personally, I would like to have a day or meet a time where I wouldn't have to carry so many SIM cards just I can beat data charges by telecommunications.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so
I
can
know,
you see
right?
that?
Yeah.
So, but we've seen all that happen.
All right, interesting. But what do you think about it today? How are you observing such a day today? And I believe it has actually gone a long way to, benefits your life and, of course, your everyday dealings. Hey, yeah. You are an extensive user of social media.
No,
Or you're not? Really?
Not really.
Okay, so I'm going to name a couple of
Lord.
platforms. Tell me if you're not on them. What you call it? What do you call it?
TikTok.
No, not TikTok. Like
Instagram.
the popular one, Snapchat. Are you on it?
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yes.
Facebook,
Yes.
Twitter,
Yes.
TikTok,
No.
Pinterest.
Really. Yeah, I'm on Pinterest.
You have an email.
Really?
Obviously.
So you agree
I
with-
know, right? But I mean, bridging the gap, I mean, not back in the days, I mean, you wouldn't sit at the comfort of your home and connect to someone, in a different, setting totally. But today, technology has made that possible. And I'm actually very happy about the fact that in Africa, telecommunication giants and of course governments and everything have made this, I think it's like so easy now, to have access and all of that. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think it's so easy if you have the means.
Hmm. Okay. That's another thing.
Because to be able to access the internet, you first and foremost have to get a smartphone.
Okay.
And
First
then
of all.
to have the smartphone, you have to get a SIM
Mm-hmm.
and then buy airtime
Mm.
before you can buy a bundle.
Okay. But I don't think it's limited to just the internet. Communication generally.
Okay, yes.
Network.
I mean, communication
You know?
is just it's so easy to find because these days you can sit in a car
Mm.
and talk to somebody who is in abroad,
Right.
talk to somebody who is in London, talk to somebody who is in the US.
Not just these days. It's been there for so long. It's
Oh,
just
but
that
there was
it has metamorphosed, huh?
There was a time where you couldn't there was a time where you couldn't talk to somebody who was in the United States
Unless you pay more.
unless you
Or
pay
you
more.
you're among the
But
elite
these-
class, eh?
But even
Yeah.
there,
Mm.
you know they have to buy these special airtime before they can actually call local numbers here in our base.
Mhm.
But these days, you just go on WhatsApp
Mm.
and you can do an
It's so
audio
easy
call
now,
and then you
yeah.
can do a video call. I mean, it starts out with Skype.
Yes. Where are
And-
they? Okay, they're around. I know. Right.
And then it has metamorphosed, like you said,
Yeah, Odogu. Shout out to Odogu in Nigeria, man.
into a much easier way where you can just pick up your phone, your smartphone,
Mm.
and then you can talk to somebody who's 1,000
Miles away.
miles away from
Right,
you.
right.
So yeah, communication is good.
That's key.
It's great
Mm.
in as much as it's not
How
cheap
bringing-
these
okay.
days. It's
Mhm.
becoming more expensive day by day, especially with the taxes that have been imposed
Mm.
here in our base Ghana. It's like these days you buy airtime and you're not getting the actual amount you bought.
This is for someone who actually uses it very well. They are the ones who are able to pinpoint the usage and how it has become expensive and everything, right?
Yes, it is because sometimes
Advocates. Not like that.
because sometimes
Okay.
right, you know internet bundle. You had to buy internet bundle by like you can buy like for a day, you can buy
Mm.
like for a week or a month.
A month, yeah.
You buy a month bundle
Mm.
here in Abis Ghana in these times,
Mm.
and the maximum days you can use it for is like 14 days.
COVID-19 crippling issue. So, that's a justification, though, not a justification. But thank you for your submission. Let me get to Epi. Epi, today, Telecommunication and Information Society Day.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, if not for COVID-19, I believe most people would not have realized the importance of telecommunication or let's say the internet or technology as we have it, because if not for the phones, actually we could call our relatives with everything during this whole lockdown period and stuff. I mean, how would people be able to connect with their friends, their families? There will be no sense of normalcy because it's like you're shut up, you're locked up alone with the immediate people close to you, and then everybody else, you can't hear from them, you can't talk to them, you don't know, literally practically know what is happening, nothing. So I think it's good, and this time has come to prove to us that it's brought a lot of good as much as there are bad sides. I mean, we have children who are learning online now thanks to all of the technology and then telecommunication and internet, and I feel it's a good thing as much as they're cutting classes to prevent the spread of the disease.
I
they're still
love
catching
Africa
up
Global Radio.
online, and I think that is a good thing. So for me, I'm happy we actually had such a day, and I'm glad it was marked. I mean, the 17th of May, 1865, and I'm happy that we still celebrate it and mark it.
All right, thank you. The show is Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio, 226 GMT. Like I said, we have two key issues I'm going to be talking about today. One, we just spoke about telecommunication and Information Society Day, very key. So let's exercise some form of, courtesy. Of course, when you use it, we just randomly call people. I remember those days when we used to dial numbers, random numbers, and you call someone you're looking for a girl to speak to. Yeah. I never did that. I never did that.
You said we.
Well, when I say we, I'm speaking in general terms.
I never
but my
did that.
friends, I used to be in a circle of friends. I was like, Charlie, I got a number by
so you
randomly
used to roll
dialing.
stubborn boys.
Well, no, it wasn't stubborn. Just what?
Yeah, I'm looking
But
at.
it was a bad thing.
I'm looking at one.
It was a bad thing, so please do not do that if you actually are fond of doing that. Okay, let's take this interlude. When we bounce back, we get straight to our next discussion, and that is the issue of assaults on some journalists here in our base Ghana. And like I said, this is not matter peculiar to Ghana alone. It's a world issue that journalists globally are facing.